There are 5 key financial ratios that I'm going to talk you through that are important and absolutely critical to the airline sector and the airline industry as a whole. 5 critical ones. Let's go through each of them. The first one is the passenger load factor. The passenger load factor. And how do we calculate the passenger load factor? We simply divide the actual number of passengers by the number of seats and express this as a percentage. What in essence this ratio is measuring is the capacity of the airline to sell tickets and to fill seats. The higher the passenger load factor, the better, all things remaining constant. The second ratio that's absolutely critical is the revenue passenger kilometers, the revenue passenger kilometers. Now, the revenue passenger kilometers, sometimes referred to as RPKs, is a measure of traffic for an airline flight calculated by multiplying the number of revenue-paying passengers aboard the aircraft by the distance traveled. So, how many kilometers have they actually flown customers by? The higher the kilometers per passenger, the better again, all things remaining constant. The third ratio I'm going to talk about is the passenger revenue yield per kilometer. So it's the passenger revenue yield per kilometer. Effectively, this measures on average how much passengers paid for each kilometer of the journey. It gives insight into the most lucrative routes before taking into account any of the other costs that the airline has incurred. The fourth is the revenue per employee. Very, very simply, total revenue of the airline divided by the number of employees. This ratio talks to efficiencies issues, whether the airline is overstaffed, and it helps the airline benchmark its efficiency relative to its competitors. The last ratio is the net income per employee. And how we calculate that is by taking the net income and dividing it by the number of employees in the airline. Again, this is a ratio that's measuring the efficiency of that particular airline company.